Hi everyone, welcome to another IELTS lunch break with Fabi. Okay, and we are meeting every Monday and Wednesday, 12 p.m. Brisbane time. Okay, and I am here twice a week to help you with your IELTS writing. Okay, so we meet twice a week. Okay, my main objective here is to help you get your desired 7+ in writing. Okay, so twice a week I help you learn more about things that you can do to improve your writing. Okay, and of course, the reason I decided to have this at lunchtime, because one of the things that I hear a lot is actually people saying that they don't have time to study for the IELTS. Okay, so I thought to myself, people must eat at some point, right? Or they must have lunch at some point, right? So I decided to just get this space, okay, which is the lunchtime, to help you actually, improve your skills if you want to get the 7+ in writing, okay? And we're meeting twice a week. However, if you're in the mood, you can study for the IELTS every day at lunchtime, okay? Of course, Monday, Wednesday, you can be here with me, but then all the other days you can do something by yourself, all right? So that's the structure that I'm thinking you should use. Okay, cool. So I don't know if you caught the last lives. Okay, actually I've been away for a few weeks because I wasn't feeling very well. I was a bit sick. It was just a cold, but it took me a while to get over it, but I finally did. Much better now. And I think that the thing that got me the most was the fatigue. I was very, very tired. All right, and for me, I like to do lots of things. I'm not a lazy person at all, so being tired for me was quite hard. So, but I'm much better now, 100% recovered. So yeah, so we're back. Okay, every Monday, Wednesday, 12 p.m. Cool. All right. Okay. So the last lives, okay, they were about linking words. I don't know if you had a chance to look at them. So one was about linking words. The other one was about the English that you need, okay, to get the score, to get a 7+. All right, okay, so if you haven't seen them yet, head to YouTube, all right, because you'll find it there, okay? And and also if you want to go to Instagram or Facebook, okay, you can also find a few things there, all right, okay. So as you know, every Monday and Wednesday, we'll be dealing with some specific things concerning the writing, okay? So as I said before, I can help you with all the parts of the IELTS exam. So if you need any help, get in touch with me. However, these lives, we are focusing on writing, okay? And the reason I'm focusing on writing is because that's what people have problems with. All right, so some people, they might have problems with reading, listening, and speaking, okay, but the writing seems to be the one that most people struggle with. That's why I decided to do just writing, okay? But if you have any questions concerning listening, speaking, and reading, okay, pop a question, okay? There's no problem at all. Just ask me a question. And if you need some extra help, send me an email, all right? Fabi@fabienglish.com. Okay, cool. So today we'll be talking about writing strategies. Okay, so the focus today will be writing strategies. More specifically, today we'll be talking about the structure of your writing. Okay, so from my experience, okay, what I see quite often, okay, when it comes to writing for the IELTS is a lot of people who have good English, they can't get a 7+. And usually the main reason is because these people, they don't know the structure of the essay or task 1 or task 2, okay? So the structure is extremely important. And Some people who have been getting 5, 5.5, 5.5 can't get a higher score because they don't know the structure. Okay, so the structure is extremely important. Okay, and and it's quite sad when people who have really good English, all right, they can't get the score just because they don't know the structure of the essay. All right, so that's why I thought it was so important to share this with you here today. Okay, so why is the structure important? Okay, so oh, first of all, before I get into this, okay, if you're interested in learning about the structure of task 2, head to my website, okay, www.fabyenglish.com, okay, go there and sign up for the free mini course for IELTS Writing Task 2, okay. So in this mini course, which is free, that's basically what I do there. I tell you the structure of the 5 most common types of writing tasks. Okay, so if you're watching this and if you want to learn more about the structure of task 2, head to my website. Okay, the link will be down here. Okay, doesn't matter if you're watching on YouTube or Instagram. Actually, if you're watching this on Instagram, then the link will be in the bio. If you're watching on Facebook, it will be down here. Same with YouTube. Okay, so if you want to learn about that structure, just head there right now and sign up and start having a look, okay? And I want to tell you why it's so important, okay? So when we talk about the structure, okay, when I talk about the structure of the writing, I'm thinking of organization and coherence, okay? So basically, people who don't know the structure, okay, what they tend to do most of the time is it's actually very common to see people writing the essay and it's just one big block. All right, there are no paragraphs. Okay, so that's something and that's why people can get a 7+. Okay, or sometimes people repeat themselves, okay, or they have too many paragraphs, like they have one paragraph that is one sentence, and that's better. Okay, you're not gonna get a 7+ if you do that. So when I talk about structure, okay, I'm thinking about the organization of the essay itself, okay, and also the coherence, okay? So with my students, when it comes to writing, I tend to focus first on the structure and then we work on English, okay? Because to me, I feel that if you have a good structure, okay, then you can progress with your English. But if you have problems with your English and problems with the structure, I don't think it's a good idea to keep working on your English if your structure is not 100% yet, okay? So with my students, we focus on that first. As long as they get the structure, then we just polish it, okay? And that's what I think most people need to get a 7, okay? Just need polish, okay? So yeah, so today I'm gonna tell you a little bit about task 1 and task 2. All right, when it comes to the structure, okay? But if you're really keen on learning more about the structure for task 2, head to my website and join the IELTS Writing mini course. It's called IELTS Writing Made Easy. All right, cool. So the first thing that comes to mind when I talk about a structure is actually the paragraphs that you need, okay? And to me, the best way to have a good structure is by having a very good plan. Yes, you heard me well, okay? I know a lot of people think that planning before you write is a waste of time. I completely disagree with that, okay? I don't know if I told you guys that before, but for example, when I'm reading an essay, so a student did an essay, sent it over to me, and I'm reading it, okay? I can see, let's say I'm reading it, and then I see something, I'm like, huh, this part here wasn't in the plan, was it? And the person goes, how do you know? Yeah, I was writing and I just edited it. It wasn't on my plan. I'm like, yeah, because it doesn't make sense. Okay, so when you're planning, okay, guys, you're giving yourselves time to structure your essay, because it is hard to, if you're gonna do the IELTS on the computer, type, and then think about what did I write first, what did I write last. When you have a plan, you do that before, okay? So a lot of people say it's a waste of time. However, if you have a good plan, okay, your writing process is much, much easier. Okay, so if you haven't done a plan before, I suggest you try it. Okay, we're probably gonna have a live just on planning. Okay, but I suggest you give it a go, because you will see the difference. And even if the first time you try takes you a little bit longer, okay, keep trying and see how you go, because I think that you will see your score increase a lot. And for the people who are doing the IELTS on the computer, okay, you can get a piece of paper. So my advice would be to look at the task on the computer, get a separate piece of paper, take notes, all right, and then go ahead and start typing and looking at your notes. Okay, so that's my advice, okay? So if you do try that, let me know how you went. Okie dokie, cool. So right, so let's think a little bit about task 1 general. Okay, so task 1 general. When it comes to the structure of task 1 general, okay, it's the letter, all right? So you usually get a letter that is formal, semi-formal, or informal. Okay, so you have these 3 types of letter, but the structure is very, very similar. Okay, of course, the information you put there will be different, especially if you have an informal one and then a formal one, okay, but the structure is always the same. Okay, so I'm going to tell a little bit about the most important thing. And again, guys, me, for example, okay, if I look at a person's writing, let's say task 1 general, a letter, I look at it and it doesn't look like a letter, you're losing points already. Okay, but if you have the right structure, it will look like a letter, all right? And then you will probably get a higher score, okay? So for your writing to have a good structure or to look like a letter, so the examiner looks at it and said, huh, this is a letter, okay? Of course, you have the dear there, okay? Then you have your first sentence, which works as an introduction of the letter, okay? And also talks about your purpose. But the most important thing to me, okay, is for you to have 3 paragraphs. And each paragraph will be describing one of the bullet points in the task, okay? So if you've done task 1 general before, you know that you have the task, right? And then you have the description, which is this the purpose of the letter, which would be in the first part. And then you have bullet point 1, bullet point 2, and bullet point 3. Each of those bullet points should be 1 paragraph, okay? If you mix that up, or if you have 2 instead of 1, again, you are losing points. Okay, so that's why the structure is so important, okay? And it's really, really straightforward, okay? So letter, okay, task 1, the structure is first sentence, and then each bullet point should be 1 paragraph. Okay, so if the examiner gets your letter and it has 1 sentence and then body paragraph 1, 2, 3, bye-bye your name, you might get a good score straight away just because it looks like a letter. Okay, then of course, then you have to see what you wrote in each paragraph, okay? But that's a great, great start. That's why the structure is so important. Okay, cool. Now, talking about task 1 academic. Okay, so task 1 academic, the main thing we have to think about here, okay, there are 2 main things, right, that we kind of require in the structure of task 1 academic, okay, which is the introduction to your report, okay? So the introduction, and you need to have a kind of a conclusion. It's not really a conclusion because it's not an essay, okay? But we need that closing sentence, okay? We need that closing thing there, okay? Just so you can conclude, okay, and finalize what you are writing. All right. So when it comes to task 1 academic, okay, so the very first sentence would be your introduction, and then we need the overall. So the overall is kind of your conclusion, okay? But the question is, where does the overall go? All right. So a lot of people like to put the overall as the last sentence, okay? Last paragraph, okay? Or the second paragraph right under the introduction. There is no right or wrong, but that's really personal, okay? So if you don't have that, so let's say the examiner looks at your writing task 1 academic and you don't have an overall, like, probably 6 or less, okay? So, and because it's so important, okay? So I believe that the introduction and this overall part is part of the structure, okay? And then what goes in between the body paragraphs, of course, depends on the type of task that you have, okay? And that's when the plan comes quite handy, okay? Because you need to select information, okay? And then you choose, and then you have to compare, okay? So if you look at the task 1 and then you just start writing, it might be hard to find out exactly what you need, all right? But if you have a plan, you can actually take some notes, and that will help you with the organization, it will help you with the content, and most importantly, it will help you with the structure, all right? So depends on the task. So it's hard for me to say how many paragraphs you need, especially body paragraphs, okay? Because it depends on the structure itself, okay? But I suggest 1 topic per paragraph, okay? So that will be the best idea here, all right? So writing task 1 academic, okay? Introduction, overall, and the paragraphs in the middle, okay? And there is no right amount of body paragraphs because it actually depends on the type of task that you have, okay? But again, remember, each paragraph should have 1 idea in it. Otherwise, it's not organized, and if you have just 1 big block, you're lacking structure and you might not get your 7+, okay? But now, the most important task, of course, is task 2, okay? Is the most important one in the IELTS writing. And with the structure, okay, it depends again on the task, okay? But I do think that when it comes to task 2, okay, the biggest part of the structure itself should be the amount of paragraphs that you have, okay? So when you see, for example, a very common one would be advantages and disadvantages of something, okay? So some people, they tend, for example, to write just the introduction, and then they write advantages of something, disadvantages of something, and then they have 1 paragraph for advantages of something, another paragraph for disadvantage of the same thing, and then they have advantages of the other thing, and disadvantages of something else. So in the end, they will have 6 paragraphs, okay? So the examiners, they're expecting you to have 4. Okay, most of the time when it's advantages and disadvantages. All right, so knowing that, so again, guys, task 2, I think the first thing we have to think about is how many paragraphs do I need? Okay, when you know how many paragraphs you need and you know where to put everything, then you're more likely to have a good structure. Consequently, you're more likely to get a higher score. Okay, so let's say they have 1 agree, disagree, and give your opinion. All right, so I think about that one. So I go, okay, introduction, right? Then I agree, then I disagree, then I give my opinion, and then I have my conclusion. So you need 5. Okay, so basically we have to think about what the examiners are looking for. Okay, so if they see that task, that's what they're looking for. So you should deliver what they're looking for when it comes to the structure. Okie dokie. Yes, so again, guys, so the best way to, I think, to have the structure right with the task 2 is thinking about how many paragraphs you need and then making your plan. Because when you make the plan, you are going to put all the right information in all the right places, okay? And if you have good information, the right information in the right place, you're already gonna get a good score for task achievement and coherence and cohesion, all right? And then you just work on your English. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's pretty cool and very, very, very important, all right? Did anyone have any questions? No questions today? Yes, so yeah, guys, and again, I think I've told you already, yeah. So some people, they have such good English, but the structure of the writing is not good enough for a 7+. So a lot of people with really good English, they are not getting a high score just because they don't know the structure. Okay, so I do hope that this video here help you, okay, with your structure. Okay, if you have any questions, just pop the questions below in the comments, okay, if you have any questions. And another thing is, if you want to know more about the structures of IELTS Writing Task 2, head to my website, all right, and over there, you'll find the IELTS Writing mini course, okay, Task 2. It's a free mini course, okay? And when you enroll in this mini course, you also get weekly emails from me, okay? Just to know what's going on, what the next live is about, okay? And yeah, and the next one will be on Wednesday, all right, 12 p.m. of course. And the topic will be, wow, what makes a good piece of writing? Okay, so the next one we're talking about a good piece of writing, because honestly, I think that to get a 7, you just need a good piece of writing. That's all you need, and that's what I'm here to help you with. Okay, so no questions? No final questions? No? All right, okay, so I will see you guys on Wednesday. All right, bye.